Sir,
Can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen, guys? Can you see my screen, guys?
sir, your voice is breaking.
Is my voice breaking, Sai?
No, sir, it is audible to me.
Okay. So, Aryan, can you hear me? Aryan? Okay. So, let's quickly start. So, we are going to discuss about noun and determiners. So, the first one is called as the types of noun phrase. So, if you go through the syllabus of it, so you will come to know that what we are going to discuss today. We are going to discuss a lot of things relating to the noun section. Nouns and determiners. The first or the chapter is called as a nouns and determiners, and in which we are going to discuss types of noun phrase. Then we are going to discuss noun classes like countable, non-countable, and proper nouns. Then we also discuss about
Collective is not there.
it is there. So we are also going into the next one, concrete and abstract nouns. Then nouns with a dual class membership. Then after reclassification, partitive construction, partition in respect of quality, partition in respect of quantity, measure partitive nouns, non-countable nouns, and their countable equivalents. So these are the things are present in the noun classes, which we are going to discuss. Beside that, in a determiners or determinatives, we also uh, so after that, we are also going to discuss the determiners, determinatives, central determiners, the articles, other central determiners and noun classes, predeterminers, like what are the predeterminers, like all, both, a half, all and whole, the multiplier, double, twice, the fractions, one third, two fifths, or post determiners. So predeterminers, post determiners like cardinal, ordinal, and also indicating about general ordinals, closed class quantifiers, open class quantifiers. We also discuss about the use of articles with a common nouns, specific and generic reference, specific references with reference definite and indefinite. Next, uses of the definite article, immediate situation, larger situation, anaphoric reference, direct, anaphoric reference, indirect, cataphoric reference, sporadic reference, the logical use of the use of the with reference to body parts, uses
So
of
what's the meaning of sporadical?
sporadic reference. So when you are talking about uh, the idea of a sporadic reference, so it is trying to tell us the idea about something which is occurred at irregular intervals. So something which is occurred at irregular intervals or only in a few places. So, or you can say scattered or isolated. So sporadic means something which is used, uh, means not regularly, so occur every interval, or called as a in a lonely place. That is what the logical use of the use of the with reference to body parts. And we also use the indefinite articles. In indefinite articles, so we discuss lots of things. Non-referring uses of indefinite articles, the indefinite articles and the numeral one, uses of the zero article. The zero uses of zero article means no article will be used. The zero article compared with unstressed sum, the zero article with the definite meaning, noun phrases in a copular relation, noun phrases with a sporadic reference, some institutions of human life and society, means of transport and communication, times of day and night, seasons, meals, illness. So parallel structure, fixed phrase. So if you talk about that, these are all we are going to discuss. Even the articles in generic reference, proper noun, how they have been used, number, uh, or you can talk about noun in a gender sense, noun in a possessive case. Uh, then after you can also say that uh, these are all which we are going to discuss. So almost what is the benefit you will get after reading this? After reading this, you will get the excessive information pertinent to the grammar section. Let's begin it. So the first one is called as a types of noun phrase. So when we are talking about a noun phrase, so typ- typically noun phrase functions as what? Now subject, object, and a complement of clauses, and as a complement of prepositional phrases, right? So as we know in the earlier uh, or the last class that how noun phrase, adjective phrase, prepositional phrase, verb phrase, and mm, you also talk about adverbial phrase. So how come these are the phrases are used in the sentence, as a part of the sentence, as a subject of the sentence, as an object of the sentence, as a complement of the sentence, like that it uses. So we will go to the first one, that's called as a noun phrase, and we will discuss more into it. So noun phrases, we understood that noun phrases can be used as a subject, object, and complement of a clauses, and as complement of a prepositional phrases. Let's say that how they use in the different subjects in the following sentence. The first one, what does it say? The girl. So the girl is used as a subject, right? So now it's a noun phrase. The blonde girl. So the girl is my sister. The blonde girl is my sister. The blonde girl in blue jeans is my sister. The blonde girl wearing blue jeans is my sister. The blonde girl who is wearing blue jeans, she is my sister. Now observe that a sentence where a noun phrase can be used in a means different phrases or different forms. Like the first one which we discussed, that article and a noun. So it is a noun phrase. Second is called as a article, adjective, and noun. Next is article, adjective, noun, preposition, then adjective, then noun. So you will find out the first one is the phrase, the second one is also phrase, the third one is also phrase, and fourth one, the blonde girl wearing blue jeans, is also phrase, and the blonde girl who is wearing blue jeans is also called as a noun clause. So noun phrase, noun phrase, noun phrase, noun phrase, then noun clause. So where the head is what? The head is called as a girl. So who is my sister? Girl, the girl is my sister. Who is my sister? Blonde girl is my sister. Who is my sister? Blonde girl in blue jeans is my sister. The blonde girl wearing blue jeans is my sister. So like that you would find out that how the sentence where the noun phrase is used. Now look into it. It tries to make us understand what happened in this six, uh, means you can say that six sentences, right? So they all are alike, same in having the same noun. What is that? Girl. As noun phrase, head, noun phrase, head. So means girl is used as a head of each of the word or each of the phrase present here. The noun phrase in one has the simplest structure. What do you mean by simplest structure? So only article and noun. That is what? Simplest structure. Consists of only the definite article and the head. Into it also has a pre-modifying. Pre-modifying what? Now pre-modifying adjective. What is that? That is called as a blunt. In 3 to 5, the noun phrase has, in addition, post modification. So what do you mean by post modification? Now means the blonde girl is wearing blue jeans. So the girl, blonde girl in blue jeans. So blue jeans is called as a post modification, means after you modify the means sentence. Even uh, a prepositional phrase. Where is the prepositional phrase? Do you find out the prepositional phrase? It is stated that, give me a second. Okay. So it is stated that means uh, in third, a prepositional phrase in blue jeans. The blonde girl in blue jeans. So whereas in four, you will find out non-finite. So if you see that uh, the noun phrase wearing using with what prepositional phrase in blue jeans, the then fourth one is called as a non-finite wearing blue jeans. Then the fourth one is called as a using with what? Now that is called as a wearing blue jeans, non-finite clause. And in five, it is called as a relative clause. Who, whose, whom, they are called as a relative clause. So therefore, we consider here there are six of the sentences where the head is what? Noun. Head is noun. So, which is one of a closed class of grammatical words called personal pronouns. So, the blonde girl who is wearing blue jeans is she, right? So, the noun phrase consists of only one word that's called as a she, which is one of a closed class of grammatical words called personal pronoun. Such pronouns can deputize deputisements are kept or observed for noun phrases and hence cannot normally occur with determiners such as the definite article. So you can't say the blonde girl who is wearing blue jeans, the she. So you cannot normally occur with determiners such as the definite article. Pre-modification or normally post-modification. So look into it, the sentence. The blonde she in blue jeans. So what does it say that? It is trying to say that it is grammatically incorrect. Grammatically incorrect. Now, noun phrases of the types illustrated in 2 to 5 include words and structures that will be dealt with in latter chapter, adjective, prepositional phrases, clauses. It will be possible or appropriate to reserve the treatment of complex noun phrases incorporating such items unit chapter 17, which deals with the noun phrase as a whole. The present chapter will be restricted to the articles or other closed class determinative elements that can occur before the noun head, including predeterminers like all, uh, central determiners like these, and the post determiners like last and few. Post determiners. The meaning of post is called as a after, right? After the verb, whatever you use is called as a post determiners. Look into it. The sentence is given as an example. All these last few days. All these last few days. So here, all is huge as a predeterminers. The closed class of pronoun as in 6 is dealt with in chapter 6. Now look into it. So we have just discussed the idea relating to the types of noun phrases, right? And the the and the topic is highly means relevant to what? Relevant to the means each and every student. Next, noun classes. Noun classes count, non-count, and proper noun. Count, non-count, and proper nouns. Let's see that it is necessary not both for grammatical and semantic reasons. It is necessary both for grammatical and semantic regions. So what do you mean by grammatical and semantic regions? Grammatical is called as a grammar, right? And also error correction or omission. Second is called as a semantic region. Semantic is called as a making one sentence mix with the others. To see nouns as falling into different subclasses. So if you look into the nouns, so the head is indicating that there are some nouns where or which follow with the subclasses. Even it is also stated that the four nouns, seed, book, and furniture, and brick, and considering the extent to which it is possible for each to appear as head of the noun phrase monitoring. Noun phrase functioning as object in the sentence. Like I saw without any determiners, with the plural. So the result of this rest or of this test can be seen in table 2. Mm. Mm. Now look into this table 5.2. What does it say? Table text table for noun classes. So the first one is a seed. The second one is a book. Third one is furniture and brick. Means a book plus bricks. The seed, the book, the furniture. So it will be the brick. Next, a seed, a seed, and a book or a
Some brick,
sorry, a furniture, a brick.
some brick,
Yeah, some seed, some book, some furniture, some brick, seeds, books, furniture, and bricks. Okay. Yeah. Sisterman, can you read it?
person. The difference between column 1 with only one possibility and column 2 plus 3 with all possibilities indicates the degree of variation between the noun classes. Nouns that behave like seed in column 1, Confucius, Paris, Sirna, Leonin, etc. are proper nouns, which we will further discuss in 5.6 FF. The nouns in the other columns are common nouns, but there are important differences between them. Those which like book in column 2, bottle, chair, forest, idea, etc. must be seen as denoting individual countable entities and not as an undifferentiated mass are called count nouns. Nouns which like furniture conform to the pattern of column 3 as do bread, grass, warmth, music, etc. must by contrast be seen as denoting an undifferentiated mass or continuum. These are called non-count nouns. Finally, we have nouns in column 2 plus 3, which can be either count or non-count nouns. Example, brick, cake, paper, stone. In that, we can view a noun like brick either as the non-count material or as constituting the countable object. Sir, what's the meaning of undifferentiated?
What is the meaning of
Sir, undifferentiated.
undifferentiated? Means called as just something which is not cannot be differentiated, separated. Okay. So here it
Okay,
is
sir.
stated that the difference between column 1 with only one possibility and column 2 plus 3 with all possibilities. So if we see that uh, uh, with only one possibility, that is called as a Sid, that is called as a book, uh, indicates that the degree of variation between the noun classes. Nouns that behave like Sid in column 1, that's called as a, not only Sid, Confucius, Paris, uh, Sierra Leone, these all are called as a proper nouns, which will be further discussed in other section. So the nouns in the other columns are common noun, but there are important differences. Uh, Those who like book in column 2, bottle, chair, football, idea must be seen as denoting individual countable, which like furniture conform to the pattern of column 3, as do bread, grass, warmth, music. They all must by contrast to seen as a denoting as differentiated mass or continuity. These are called as a non-count nouns, which are called as a non-count nouns. Uh, all those things, bread, grass, warmth, or called as a music. These are called as a non-countable noun. Finally, we have nouns. Finally, we have nouns in column 2 plus 3, which can be either countable or non-countable. Like you can talk about brick, cake, paper, stone. In that, we can view a noun that brick that brick either as the non-countable material or as constituting the countable objects. The house is built of brick. He used bricks to build the house. The house is built of rocks. So they used bricks to build the house. Now next is the type headed 2 plus 3. That's called as a um, may be classified grammatically in two ways, either as a lexical class of noun which combines the characteristic of countable nouns and non-countable nouns, or B as two separated items, one count and the other as one count and the other non-count. The former mode of analysis is called as a possible for nouns, the brick and cake, with the no difference in meaning between count and non-count. Therefore, such nouns will be said to have dual class membership. Although in sentences such as I like music, I like Sid, the two nouns look superficially same in terms of article usage. We'll say that music has zero article, but that Sid has no article. The label zero is appropriate in the case of common nouns, which have article contrast. Example, music as opposed to the music, or like I like music and dancing. I think the music is too bold or too loud in here. So here the word is called as the music and the music. If, however, we disregard special grammatical environment like the sit, I mean is tall, proper nouns have no therefore be said to have no article. So countable, here it is given as a note, countable noun as they're termed in this book are by some grammarians called countable nouns. Similarly, our team also non-count nouns correspondence to mass nouns or are called as uncountable nouns in other grammars. Look into it. The animal as in seven and the non-countable noun lamb. The meat from the animal as in 7a is achieved by separate lexical items as in they raise a great many calves, pigs and sheep. We eat a great deal of be- veal, pork and mutton. So what do you find out here? The noun which is called as a calves, pigs and sheep are in the okay. Different lexical items. So what do you mean by lexical items? Now, countable or non-countable pairs realized by different lexical items. Lexical means basic items are the following. Like if I say a garment, right? So a garment, clothing. So a laugh, laughter, a permit, permission, weapon, arms, a job or task, work, a suitcase, language, a poem, poetry, a
The
machine,
luggage.
luggage, luggage, not luggage. It is luggage. Okay. Now look into it. Other countable or non-countable pairs realized by different lexical items are called as different means basic items are the following. A garment, clothing, a laugh, laughter, a permit, permission, a weapon, arms, a job or a task, work, a suitcase, luggage, a poem, poetry, a machine, machinery. So note also the contrast between the non-countable noun, money, and the countable nouns naming different units of the money. Different units of money. We have not much money left. We have only got a few coins, $2 bills, some pound notes. So the distinction between countable nouns and uncountable nouns. How do you draw that it is a countable or uncountable noun? Because if you see that uh, in real world denoted, this is clear when we compare the words of language closely related to English. Rather, the justification for the countable, non-countable distinction is based on the grammatical characteristic of the English nouns. Just to go through this reclassification, just go for the reading of it. Just read this reclassification. I am coming. So next is called as a reclassification. So if you talk about this noun section, so we find out that countable and non-countable. So when you say that uh, countable or non-countable pairs realized by different lexical items. So when you are talking about lexical items, it means we are talking about basic, the root. The root are the following, like a garment is called as a clothing, a laugh is called as a laughter, a permit, a permission, a weapon, arms. Uh, we have not much money left. We have only got few coins or $2 bills, some pound notes. So money, notes, you can find out money, coins, then after notes, or you talk about bills. So these are called as a certain words which have a indication of what non-countable noun money, and the countable nouns naming from units of money, like a few coins, right? A few coins. So a few coins is called as a countable. $2 bills, right? Some pound nouns. So money is an uncountable noun, but at the same time, you will find out that the countable noun of that different units of money. So uh, money have the synonym like coins, few coins, or called as a $2 bills, or called as a some pound nouns. So the idea is stated here. The distinction between countable nouns and non-countable noun is not fully explainable as necessarily inherent in real world. This is clear when we compare the words of language closely relating to English. Rather, justification of for the countable, non-countable distinction is based on the grammatical characteristic of the English noun. Now, coming to the next one is called as a reclassification. Reclassification. So reclassification means, Sai, can you read it? Sai, can you read it?
Yes, sir. Nouns may also be shifted from one class to another by means of conversion of at one.
Leave it. Just read these are the things, the sentences.
Does a non-count noun like cheese can be reclassified as a count noun involving a semantic shift so as to denote quality, partition, kind, type, form? Example: what cheese you got today? Well, we have cheddar, gorgonzola, and
Gorgonzola
Danish
and
blue.
Danish blue, right?
Similarly, a noun like coffee, which is normally non-count, as in can be reclassified as a count noun to mean an appropriate ap-
Unit of.
unit of, as in and or kind, short, brand of, as in 1 C and 1 D. Do you want tea or coffee? Can I have a coffee, please?
What
A
do you
cup
mean
of
by
coffee.
can I have a coffee? That is called as a can I have a coffee, please? It means a cup of
It's
coffee.
a cup of coffee. Two
Two
coffees,
coffees
please.
means
2 cup of coffees.
two cups of coffee.
2 cups of coffee. This is a nice coffee. I like Brazilian coffees best.
Now, do you see
There
that
is a
how reclassification occur? It means it is trying to tell us, even if you have means a non-countable noun, but
Sir,
non-countable,
this is a nice coffee. It will change to a nice coffee.
sorry,
This is a nice coffee. It will change into a nice coffee.
yeah, it's a nice coffee. I like Brazilian coffees best. I like Brazilian coffees best. So if you look into the one where it is indicating about tea or coffee, means that's called as a unit. What do you want? A cup of tea or a cup of coffee? Can I have a coffee? It means a coffee means a cup of coffee. When I say that two coffees, it indicates two cups of coffee. When I say this is a nice coffee. I like Brazilian coffees best. So you would find out that these means non-countable noun can be reclassified as a countable, right? So, and when it is reclassified, it presents the idea of what? Now, unit or called as a kind or called as a sort or kind brand of. That is what it is indicating. So remember one of the thing present here or a note is given that what there is a special case of reclassification in cases like the following. There is a special case of reclassification in cases like the following. Are you cosmetics? Are you cosmetics? So here there is no co-reference relation between subject and a complement, as in are you a teacher? So if I say are you a teacher, so a teacher is the means a complement. But when you say are you cosmetic, so there is no reference of what means uh, complement. So are you cosmetics means what? So the complement represents, so when you say are you cosmetic, the complement cosmetics refer as a what? Now whether the person is selling cosmetic items, right? So it means uh, reclassification is indicating that what? Now your means a word which is a non-countable noun can be used for the other way or other meaning. In this use of the noun, there is an implied contrast. What is that? Now, cosmetics as opposed to toys, jewelry items, etc. in a department store. Similarly, are you 103? What do you mean by 103? It means, are you the person who live in the 103 room number, the occupant of room number 103, as opposed to 104, means room number 104. The contrast may also be more explicit, as in, are you a church or chapel? Are you church or chapel? So church or chapel means you are a member of the church.
What is chapel?
Chapel is called as somebody who is a means uh, disbeliever. Those who those who do not believe to other religion, right? So are you a church or chapel? So it means, are you a member of the Church of England or a nonconformist? In these last cases, we may argue that the noun has been reclassified as an adjective, right? As in, they are very Oxbridge. They are very Oxbridge. So what do you mean by that when you are saying they are very Oxbridge? So in that case, you can talk about means maybe Oxbridge is referring to the center. They are very Oxbridge means they are belonging to the center of Oxbridge and high believing high so believing that they belong to high society. So in this case, reclassification gives the idea that noun may be the uncountable or non-countable, but they can be counted in the other meaning. Right. Now let's go for the next one. The next one is called as a partitive constructions. What do you mean by partitive construction? A partition in respect of quality, right? Partition in respect of quality in noun section. So when you say both count and non-countable nouns can enter partitive constructions. How? Now constructions denoting a part of a whole. Such constructions express both quality partition. Example, a kind of paper, and a quantity partition, right? A piece of paper. Quality partition is expressed by a partitive countable noun like a kind of book, a sort of means a man, a type of handle. So they followed by an of phrase. Example, singular partitives. When you say singular partitives, it means a new kind of computer. So plural particips is called as a means new kinds of computers. So here we cannot use a because it is a plural. New kinds of computers, a new kind of computer, a delicious sort of bread. So look into it, kind of, sort of, right? Delicious sort of bread, a delicious sorts of bread. Another type of research, other types of research. So what do we find out? Partitive construction help us to draw singular, plural, and they use with what? Now uncountable noun on the basis of counting by stating kind, sort, or type. So kind, sort, or type means we are talking about quality, quantity, and also means you can say that quality and quantity partition. Now, looking to the next one, quality partition of non-countable nouns may therefore be expressed either by a partitive construction or by reclassification. Like a nice kind of coffee. A nice kind of coffee means a nice coffee, right? You give me a nice coffee means a nice kind of coffee. English types of cheese, English cheeses. English types of cheese, English cheeses. So cheese normal generally uncountable noun. Always remember that whether we are dealing with a countable or non-countable nouns, we can express the quality partition in the form a plus adjective plus noun. So such that a sentence like the following is superficially ambiguous. We are importing a new Italian shirt. So is called as usual, the new Italian shirt. Adjective is new or Italian and noun is shirt. It may mean either a new type of or a new item, right? The former interpretation naturally being more likely in this case. So this is something called as a means a partitive construction. Next, the next one is called as a partition in respect of quantity. How do we go for the partition in respect of quantity? It is stated partition in respect of quality, partition in respect of quantity. If you talk about that partition in respect of quantity, what do we find out? Now, non-countable nouns are seen, as we have said, as denoting an undifferentiated, means no difference, right? So, differentiated mass. However, the expression of quantity, therefore, countability may be achieved by means of certain general partitive nouns. In particular, piece, bit, item, those are followed by of. So a piece of cake, two pieces of cake, a bit of chalk, some bits of chalk, an item of nudes, several items of nudes. So here you will find out a partition in respect of quantity. So here we use a piece, a bit, and an item. Quantity of non-countable nouns may therefore often be expressed either by partitive nouns or by reclassification. So reclassification means like you can say 2 lumps of sugar or called as a 2 sugars. The most widely used partitive expression is a piece of, which can be combined with both concrete and abstract nouns, right? Example, concrete. So which one is concrete? Now concrete is called as a piece of bacon.
So back on.
A piece of bacon. a piece of chalk, a piece of coal, a piece of land, a piece of paper. Abstract is a piece of advice, a piece of information, a piece of news, a piece of research, a piece of work. So it means we can use this quantity of non-countable nouns in concrete by stating a piece of bacon, chalk, coal, and land, paper. So which is called as a concrete noun. So at the same time, we also say a piece of advice, information, news, research work. These are called as abstract in nature. So that is why we use a piece. Bit generally implies a small quantity. Bit. Bit means indicating small quantity. A bit of rice, a bit of news, a bit of fun, a bit of research with abstract noun. Item is used besides piece. An item of business, an item of an item of information, an item of news. So, or a news item. Item is not generally used with the concrete nouns. So it means item is used with uh, abstract noun. An item of oil or cake, but an item of clothing. In addition to these general participies, there are some more restricted and and descriptive typical participes which form expression with a specific concrete non-countable nouns such as the following: an atom, grain of truth, a bar of chocolate. Observe that. uh, a bar of chocolate, soap, a bar of soap, a bar of gold, a bar of iron, an atom, a grain of tooth, a grain of truth, uh, a blade of grass, a blade of grass, a block of ice, a block of flat, a block of seeds, or block of ice or flats. So a block of seeds, a block of sheds, a cut of land, lamb meat, a joint of meat, a drop of water, oil, whiskey, a grain of corn, a rice, sand, salt, a loaf of bread, a lump of coal, a sheet of paper, a slice of bacon, a speck of dust, a stick of chalk, a strip of cloth, a suit of clothing, cloths, armors. Okay, please note down them also. So these are called as a typical participes. Okay, now plural countable nouns, whereas the general participle of piece of can be used with many of the non-countable nouns, like a piece of paper, bacon, or news. It cannot be used with the plural countable nouns, including always plural nouns like cattle. Other party, always plural nouns like cattle. A large crowd of people. A crowd of people are called as a large. A huge flock of or a huge, which is also indicating large, huge, small, pack. All these things: a crowd of people, a flock of bird, a herd of cattle, a packet of cigarette, or a pack of cigarette, a series of incidents, a series of concerts, a series of lectures, a bunch of flowers. Uh, so a bunch of keys. So it is also used about people like group, a bunch of teenagers. So these are called as a plural. Singular countable nouns. Partition can also be expressed in reference to singular countable nouns. So how singular countable nouns? Now when you say that a piece of a loaf, a piece of or a loaf, a branch of a tree, a page of a book, a section of a newspaper, a verse of a poem. So these are called as a singular countable noun. A piece of a loaf, a piece of a tree, a page of a book, a section of a newspaper, a verse of a poem. Fractional partition can also be expressed by such general quantitative items as half, all, whole, plus, of, plus, now. Like you can say, I would like half of that piece of meat. I would like a quarter of that piece of meat. I would like all of that piece of meat. I would like the whole of, the rest of, the remainder of. So you can say that using with a fractional partition also we can make the sentence. So when we modify a partitive noun sequence, the modification applies to the group as a whole. An expensive cup of coffee. The cup of coffee cost a lot. Okay. But of course, since in many cases the adjectives modifying the whole group could equally apply to the second noun. We have some instances like the following where the meanings of the two phrases differ little. Like a hot cup of tea, a cup of hot tea. Hot means a cup of tea, it's called as a cup of hot tea. A good stroke of luck, a stroke of good luck, a good stroke of luck. A beautiful pair of legs, a pair of beautiful legs. So what do you find out? Uh, the pre-modifiers hot in such cases often apply more appropriate to the second noun than to the first. It is not the cup, but the tea that is hot in a cup of tea. In a nice glass of whiskey, nice is roughly equivalent to welcome and offers only implicit comment on the quality of the liquor. Typical partitives sometimes have a negative intensifying force. Did you sleep well? No, I did not get a wink. A wink means what? No, I did not get off sleep. So, did you sleep well? No, I did not get a wink. When the two partitive constructions combine, the quantity partitive is included in the scope of the quality partitive. Like two kinds of means loaves of bread, but not two loaves of kinds of bread. So you cannot use both. Two kinds of bread, two loaves of kinds of bread is wrong. Okay. Now it is the time for asking questions. Have you heard all? Shall I ask you the question? Hello?